quiet seaside town, an evil lain to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Tabletop Gold, The Roots of Ruin, episode 182. Welcome to the show. My name is Lars Casteen. I'm your host for this evening. I am the Golden Tyrant. Hope you're having a great week. I hope you're enjoying your January. Two people that I know, there are only two of you I'm going to introduce today is how my brain is working today.
Be fun.
Let's see who wins.
See the two you like and the two you don't.
Yeah, there are two of you that I think are having a good January, two of you that I think are having a bad January. Ooh. First up, good January, David the Tin Man Chernicoff. Hi, David.
Good January.
Happy good January to you. Zoe Chernicoff, also a good January.
I'd say great January.
The best January. Robin Lange is, I believe, having a bad January.
Lars, why would you curse me? 2024 was such junk, and I'm determined that 2025 is going to be good. And for you to curse me this way, I'm going to come after you.
Look, but January might be a low point. Things go uphill from there.
That's true.
Better.
You want to build each month. You want February to be better than January. You want March to be better than February. We're trying to climb.
That's where that
lower my
saying
expectations.
comes from. In the doldrums in January, rich by August.
Yes.
Okay.
And rich by August joining us is our Matt Humphreys.
Look, I'll cop to it. This is a bad January for me, okay? It's like getting really ugly and things have happened and Hank and I aren't talking anymore.
Oh,
and
you're not.
No, actually.
I have a question. Hank, your dog was talking earlier? That's cool.
Yeah, no, it was wonderful. Very magical. It's one of the many reasons I feel strongly about him being a good boy is because he's always able to articulate his feelings thoughtfully and with consideration for the
It's inspiring. I agree.
feelings of others. Yeah.
Speaking of inspiration, last week we were going to talk about a topic and then we got sidelined talking about ska bands. This week we're going to do the actual topic. We're going to actually do it. Here's what I know. David has an object that he wants to talk about and the object pertains to something. David, what are we talking about today? What is this object? How does it pertain to anything? We're, of course, stick with me here. We are going to get into our game shortly, but before that, we have to find out about David's object. David, what is the object?
Well, let me start by saying the only thing that could make this more difficult as an intro topic,
It's a high wire act, it sounds like.
Right, than building it up a whole bunch before showing you what it actually is building it up a whole bunch and then waiting an entire episode and building it up some more.
Mm-hmm.
So disclaimer, it's maybe a little flimsy to bear all this weight. So we've discussed in the past how advertising for e-tail brands of men's underwear can get to be a little much at times.
They sure can. Yeah, quite suggestive, borderline salacious, not safe for work, I think is a fair thing to say. Juvenile, childish, filled with various puns.
And all of that is 100% accurate. What we have discussed less is that in some cases, the underwear itself is actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing a pair of it right now.
So am I. And for reasons not worth getting into, it was underwear purchasing time.
Sure.
And we've just passed the time of the year when everything is on sale in order to prevent the country from collapsing.
Right. You're doing your duty by to keep the global economy afloat by purchasing some underwear.
Yeah, that's right. It's a kind of perpetual motion machine of double entendre advertising than succumbing to it. Okay, so, and then we have also discussed on this show previously
Yes.
that the best possible food is French fries.
Well, some people believe
okay,
that, but
interesting.
yeah, that
And
one's a
s-
little more controversial.
And so
for me,
I
but-
present to you
Ooh.
this pair of
Hey.
underwear that I now own.
Did you just take those off? Is that like one of those fun, like, whoosh?
How did you take them off without taking your pants off,
Yeah.
David?
I don't think I should answer that
Oh,
question.
yeah, don't answer that question.
That's a Patreon sponsor thing. If you
Yeah,
want the answer
totally.
to that, you got to sponsor it. What's that, $50
Yeah.
level?
That's
Yeah.
right. We're going to add a special $50
That-
underwear mystery level.
That entitles you to the feed from the downstairs camera.
So you're holding up a pair of, what brand of high-priced direct-to-consumer internet underwear is that?
I don't
Would you
feel
mind
that. Well,
answering?
am I supposed to say?
I
or
don't
am
know. You
supposed to
can.
conceal it?
Are
It's
they
up to
Future
you.
MeUndies?
potential sponsor.
Sacks.
It is Saks. I'll tell you,
Ah.
I'm wearing a pair of Saks right now as well.
Yeah, they're the best ones.
I exclusively wear them.
And so I needed some underwear, and so I usually am not such an adventurous underwear pattern guy, but I came
Sure.
across these ones with French fries on them, and I thought, I got to have it. It's what Tabletop Gold
That's
would
what
want.
it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the shipment arrived, and lo and behold, it
Yeah.
turned out that I had accidentally purchased
Mm.
a second pair of underwear that also have French fries on them.
Was it fish and chips?
These are fish,
Fish and chips.
I like that.
That's
Into it.
interesting.
Yeah.
I just thought it was
To be
some
fair,
fish.
those are chips.
That's right.
True.
Oh, I see.
Right.
That-
and which would make these crisps? No, wait. No, how does it work? How do they do it over there?
That pair of underwear dovetails really nicely with the malt vinegar play that I've been getting into in the bedroom lately.
Yes.
So
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
we don't need to go into that, obviously.
That's
but,
also that's a $75 Patreon tier.
That's a 7. Yeah.
Malt vinegar foreplay.
Honestly, it's better than the malt liquor play I've gotten into. So
That's the $3 tier.
Oh, Zoe is really being brutal with these pricing.
Well, malt liquor, you can't make malt liquor a pricey tier. It's against
see
its
what you
sort
mean.
of
I'm losing money
ethos.
on
No, wait a
every
minute.
subscriber. That's part of why it's such a bad January.
Lars is not talking about the malt liquor tier. He's talking about the malt vinegar tier.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Oh,
is obviously
that's
going to be a higher
75.
Much
tier.
higher,
Yeah.
much more sophisticated.
David, are you typically, and this is a personal
Are we
question
going to
that you
have to
don't
have
need to
malt
answer.
madness this year?
Are we going to do
Malt
malt madness?
madness.
Oh, that could be
Are we going to do all of our
good.
favorite malts? We probably should.
How
I'm
many
into
malts
it.
are there?
The selection committee is going to have a much easier job this time to filter the number of malts down to 8. I think that's going to be
The selection
a
committee is going to start
relatively
taking
simple-
notes
Maltesers,
right now.
malt
okay.
balls.
Malt madness.
Yeah.
Malt vinegar.
Yeah.
Right.
Also sounds like that board game from the early 90s, Mall.
Oh,
Malt
mall
madness.
madness.
Malt
Yeah.
madness.
Was that the one where you
Yeah.
answered the phone and like
And you got a little credit card?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
funny story
right.
about mall madness.
Malted barley.
My
malted milk.
sister, who is a couple of years older than I am, shout out Anne
Hey, Ann.
from DC, who is a listener. She apparently she told me this a couple of years ago that she was always wanted mall madness when she was a kid and was like not permitted to get it, or it simply was inaccessible due to like being a child and not having.
I believe it was a
One
not
thing.
permitted.
I think it was not permitted by my parents. That would check out. And so eventually at some point as an adult, she was like, gosh darn it, I'm buying mall madness. Like I'm a grown up. I have my own money now. I get to spend it on things that I want. I've always wanted this, and I bought it. And then she was terribly disappointed by the experience. Apparently it's not that great a game.
Yeah, I
No.
believe it.
So apologies to potential future sponsor Mall Madness.
Mall
but
Madness.
yeah.
but apparently
They
it's
try to bring back malls from
Yeah.
the brink of.
You're right.
Destruction.
Perhaps it was prophetic for the fate of malls in general.
Yes, as goes mall madness, so
So
goes
go the malls. Yeah.
What was it? The Ozymandias Mall? Look upon my mighty.
Look upon my mall.
work, ye mighty, and despair.
look upon my malts.
Look upon my food court, ye mighty.
Yeah.
But just to be clear, we're not doing mall madness
No.
in March. We're doing malt madness.
Malt
what
madness.
a great thing to have decided right here on the air. That's
Yeah.
I think.
I think yes.
Prediction: Ovaltine's going to win.
Ovaltine
Ooh.
is going to be I
Save
think a
it
high
for
seed.
the show.
This
I
will
mean,
be fun too. I can be the David of this season's this year's blank madness on account of I can't eat anything with malt because it's all glutinous by definition.
Yes.
I think in a way that makes you the most objective.
That's right. And there was a time in my life where I could or did eat many of these things, so I have faint recollections.
You used to be a malt maniac.
I actually love a malt ball, but I gotta save it for the show. David is displeased.
David
we could just do the whole thing now, and we could spend all of the chat segments in March just sitting in silence. I guess it's up to you.
You've made your point. And guess what? It's time for us to move on. It's time for us to play our game.
Woo!
I'll email you guys about malt ideas. Just stand by.
Yeah, send it right now, please.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything else right now. If you could just send me the email right this second, that would be
on it.
Okay, here we go. Your first steps into the wide-ranging subterranean caverns known by the nearby drow settlement of Ildaris as the hunting grounds have been perilous, to say the least. This area is packed with life that is unlike anything you've ever encountered in your time above ground, and as such, it is proving to be a learning experience to adventure through such overwhelming biodiversity. You're currently recovering from a near-fatal encounter with a pair of Reaper Skull puffballs, lightweight, poison-filled fungi that set upon you for sustenance. The puffballs were killed, and you survived, barely. Who knows what else lurks within these vast caverns, or whether you'll be able to adapt to their hostile climate. I know that the party is knocked down. I know that the party is wounded, beaten up, battered. I know that, but on the other hand, I know that Armet had to sit and watch everybody else play the game all last episode. So my question is whether you believe that you're going to be pushing forward or retreating. This would be a relatively quick adventuring day. So what are we doing here? Are we pushing forward? Are we dropping back? What are we feeling?
Well, how are people doing on like spell slots and stuff?
Yeah, that's my question. Once my hit points are back, I'm pretty much right as rain, but I know that's not the case for everybody.
Well, this is going to come as a shock, but Istin has basically all of his spell slots.
Very few resources.
He took a nap.
It's amazing how few resources you can use with this one weird trick. GM,
all you gotta do.
Trill's okay. She just used all of her 5th rank spell slots on Soothe, but she's above lower.
We probably don't need those for a terrifying dragon that anyone's been.
I mean, she'll need to rest before we see the dragon, probably.
Should be totally in our control. Well, I don't know. I feel like maybe we bandage up and forge ahead.
Yeah.
Into it.
Armet, how is Istin reacting in this moment? Like you've been paralyzed.
He's paralyzed. That's super rude.
Okay, he was paralyzed. Super rude. Armet, tell me without using any motions of your body how you're feeling right now. Okay, great. But up until just
that's how he communicates with Hank.
Yeah, Hank has finally started talking to me again. No, I think Istin is like probably still like rubbing at his jaw and just getting feeling back into his body. I didn't know if I was gonna survive there.
Yeah, that was pretty scary.
It was. Thank you. You really saved my life. If you hadn't been there, I would have been following my dad.
Yeah.
And all I could think is that I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to stop doing the things we need to do here. I'm not ready to die. We have to finish this.
I feel like after bringing up Haplo, Trill kind of gets really quiet and gets a bit lost in the feelings I think she still has about what she could have done differently.
And Ao sort of like gets sort of a serious look on her face, and she claps Istin on the shoulder, and she's like, that's right. We all need to forge ahead and get the lenses, and someone needs to host them so we can control the light.
Like the energy, Ao. Some of the particulars, some a little bit more. Oh, well, I have nuanced positions on that, but
She nods thoughtfully, and she's like, but we're... And she looks at Trill and Mag. We're in this, right? We're all gonna hang in there. We're gonna see it through.
absolutely.
No one's gonna go dying. I mean, we've got all this gauze. And with that, she begins taking the gauze and starting to heal people.
Right. Ooh, that does feel good, actually. The compression, it's nice. Feels secure.
I just feel like you told a story of the reason that Ao has gotten so invested in healing is that she's just overwhelmed by the tonnage of gauze that she has.
Right.
She's just trying
It's
to
like
get
a
rid
hoarder
of it.
issue.
Yeah. It's just like, what am I going to do with all this goddamn gauze?
No wonder I'm always encumbered when I look at my stat sheet.
May as well get an MD.
Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of healing, it seems like.
That is
Oh, it'd be
right.
better.
So this is a quiet moment in the shadow of all of these different mushrooms. You're sitting here in the southern reaches of the hunting grounds. This is a large cavern with sort of natural pillars throughout it. There are hills rolling off into the distance. The area where you're surrounded by speckled, like tortoise shell fungi, some brightly glowing purple fungi, some, fungi of all different, mushrooms of all different shapes and sizes.
Lars, can you describe again, I mean, in part for folks who are listening and not
Sure.
viewing the map, but also I think it would be helpful for me too. We're all the way underground and we're in a chamber, but this chamber is so large, especially by comparison to all the like tiny dungeon rooms that have come before.
Yeah.
It really feels like it's more like we're outdoors. It's more like we're like out in the open.
Totally, for sure.
So how far can we see? How much are we looking at here?
I think what you're able to see from here is limited by the reach of your light, right? Like at a certain point, even though you're using magical light, you can see about 120 feet around you. At a certain point, the darkness overtakes your light sources. Like there is a limit to what it is that you're able to see in front of you.
Yeah.
Let me just do some basic sort of pathfinding around here to get a sense of what you may be able to see within 120 feet. So Mag, as this healing is happening, and I think that we're almost through this healing, Mag has just so many damn hit points that it takes like
I need one
forever.
more. Yeah, sorry.
Need one more.
Forever to heal
Yeah,
her.
I think that was 7, so this will be 8.
But Mag, standing where she is, looks off to the northwest and sees the beginnings of, maybe is able to see something that resembles, in the far, far distance, the shores of some kind of a lake. Like you see that there is maybe Mag, as she squints into the distance, can see just like a little bit of water in this direction to the northwest. Mag, looking straight ahead, sees at the edges of the magical light something that looks like a building up in this direction, some sort of a man-made structure towards the north. And then to the northeast, she just sees mushrooms and more swamp in sort of in the farthest reaches of the darkness that she's able to see into. So it's a wide open space. It's the widest open space that you have seen in this adventure. It's the widest open space that I have ever seen in running this game. It definitely, like David is saying, has the feeling of like an outdoor, like open adventuring area. which is really cool to me for a variety of reasons that we can articulate over the next however much time. Speaking of time, how much time did Ao just spend healing?
I believe that was 80 minutes. One question for you, Lars. What does Assurance add?
Assurance adds your proficiency bonus to 10. So like you are level 9 and you have a master proficiency in medicine. So that's 9 for 9, 6 for master. So it adds a 15. So you can automatically hit a 25.
Okay, I was wondering if
Assurance.
I had leveled up enough that I could now, because I can do like trained expert or master. Like what level
Right, you
of...
can aim at different DCs, yeah.
Right, but I can't... The master one, I don't automatically hit.
Yeah, you'll have to roll for the master
Okay,
one.
all right. Then I've been doing it at expert. It just occurred to me I could maybe be doing this faster going forward, but...
Yeah. Is there any other conversation, or is it time to push forward, do you believe?
I think good to push forward.
Well, thinking of directions of where we could go. So we know that Ravarax is to the northeast.
That's right.
And that ochre lens that the twins talked about, one of their lenses, that is probably in that water. And there's also supposedly an old treasure vault overlooking that lake.
Yes.
And we also know that Cora wants Kerfell killed.
And that Kerfell also has one of the lenses.
Yeah.
That we need to insert into our own bodies so we can host them and
That's
control
right.
the light.
Would Mag want to do some scouting, like get the lay of the land on the way towards Ravarax? I feel like Mag's feeling pretty passionate about that.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be stop number 1 if it's up to Mag.
Okay. I'm going to pop this party token out here, and whoever wants to pull this party token forward to tell me where the party is adventuring, let's do it.
Mag, go for it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, we were told toward the northeast.
Mm-hmm.
So northeast would be in this northeasterly direction, I think.
So you trek forward through a gap in these mushrooms with these large pillars blocking your light as you pass between them into another gap in the mushrooms. You look over towards the northwest, and you now see the edge of a building quite clearly. There's some sort of a stone windowless building right here in the middle of this natural splendor. It looks old, but certainly not as old as the rest of this area.
What does the building look like? Like, does it go up to the top of the cavern?
The walls do not go all the way to the ceiling of this cavern, which is roughly 60 feet above you. Let me just get a sense of how far it is you're able to see from here, though. You get the sense that there are pillars all around you, but you don't see that this wall goes all the way up to the ceiling.
Well, Mag would keep moving past this structure if left alone, because she's going to be kind of mono-focused on Ravarax, and this does not look like a swamp dragon's lair. However, like, David is like, if in walking past that somebody else in the party thinks it would be wise to go in there and get all of the gear from it before we fight the dragon, like, if somebody could say something to Mag, and she might be swayed by that, but it's not going to occur to her on her own, I guess. So David is metagaming for poor Mag here.
Islan would definitely stop and stare at it for like a minute and just be like, I'm just confused. Why would they have a roof? There's no rain down here. I mean, bat guano maybe? I guess to trap the heat, but you would think that the foremost job of a roof was to keep rain off.
Maybe it keeps dragon fire from raining down on you from above.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, a roof would be good for that. Or anything really to interpose between you and the dragon, really. I mean, stone's good, but I bet I mean, what other materials would you want for that? I suppose it depends on what kind of dragon it is, you know? Like if it's a black dragon, you want some base.
How many building materials can you name?
Oh no, let's not.
Malt brick, malt
Oh,
sticks.
gosh. Oh Lord. Didn't they say that Balcora built some buildings out here? Could this be one of her buildings, maybe?
I don't know. Does anyone see an entrance? I mean, we might knock. It might be an outpost to the drow, you know, like a hunting cabin or something.
You shine your light towards this building and you don't see any entrance on this side. But one presumes that there would be an entrance somewhere.
Oh,
Iston walks up to the rounded part that he is now thinking is translucent from the other side. He's like, hello? Anybody in there? Knock, knock.
You don't hear any response. You're talking to a stone wall.
That's what you want us to think, Lars.
Right, last time I
No,
did
only
that,
if he
we
said, you are
we got
positive
whisked.
that. That's how we know.
Yeah. The last time I started talking to a stone wall, we got whisked away and made into foreign dignitaries. So
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And now drow shootists. All of us are taking that archetype, right?
Oh, we are?
It's just a great archetype. guys.
Trill starts looking for doors, visible or secret or otherwise.
Okay. Which way are you going around this building? Which way are you going?
I think she's going to go... I think she'll start around the side that she can see, so she'll go, I guess, counterclockwise to, I don't know, maybe throw AO off.
Okay. The pathway around this building towards the east is going to be difficult. You can get through it, but it entails crawling through very thick fungal growth, right? Like this is going to be, you're going straight through the jungle, basically. Okay. So
can I pick Trill up to help her move through it?
I would think Trill could squeeze through it better.
That's
her own.
fair enough.
So you start picking your way through this thick fungal growth, and you
Ooh, shiny.
track the edge of this building, and it looks like this is a sizable building, like at least 50 feet across.
Wow.
And you continue up around through another fungal outcropping, and you see a sort of surprising bit of construction here to your immediate northwest as you get to what looks like a northern corner of the building.
This is massive.
You see here in front of you something that is like a ramp going up like this at maybe a 20 to 30 degree angle, and it's going up to a man-made column here. This column that you see to your immediate northwest has been plonked down right in the middle of this natural cavern, and it extends, it's like 10 feet around, extends all the way up through the ceiling of the cavern above you.
I think we might know what's in that tower.
I bet I know what's inside there.
And she's even made it accessible. Amazing.
But there is a space, you can't tell from the map, but there is a space right around here where like these stairs that are leading up to the pillar, right? It's sort of like, I'm trying to do this with my hands. There's like building, stairs, pillar. Like the stairs lead up into this pillar that then goes straight up. So you can go under the gap in the stairs there. You can go like under where the
like a
stairs
bridge.
leave the ground, like a bridge going from the ground to about 30 feet up in the air. And then the pillar goes straight up.
Okay, so there is a space where that sort
Where you
of
can go
walkway
where you
leads
can go under.
up that you can.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Do you want to go under that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you head under that stairway.
Well,
And you see something that I think you immediately recognize as you get under this sort of walkway. As you pick your way under the walkway, you're looking at a massive circular column that is like 40 feet wide, like 20 feet wide, going straight up, big circular, faint blue energy crackling all around it.
Is there a pillar of blue light going through it?
It's not exactly a pillar of blue light. It's a stone pillar, but you can sense, you've seen this enough times. you see that blue energy tickling the exterior of this stone wall as you approach it.
And Ao just immediately lays her hands on it. It's there. If only we can host the lenses, we can feel the possibility is so close. She's just sort of like walking along the wall until whatever damage she's about to take occurs.
No damage from touching this wall. So it sounds like the three of you are like waiting for Ao to get zorched, but Ao runs her hand over this wall. The wall is cool to the touch. It's clean.
Very gently leans in with her tongue out and just licks it.
Well, I guess we're in the right place, and the light's having its usual effect on Ao.
This building that you've been tracing the edge of continues to the west, and there's like a potential, you see that there's like a western wall that you could lead around if you wanted to explore that corner. In addition to this smaller column that you just walked past, there is another one, almost like these, it is a smaller support column for this larger enclosure that contains the void energy.
I think Trill would push to continue to find a door to this building.
Ao follows along, tongue trailing.
I mean, that's just really gross. You don't know what's crawled
It's clean.
on that
It's
stone.
clean.
But like, how clean? You know?
Powerful clean.
I mean, is it like back of a tavern's kitchen clean, or is it, actually clean?
She shrugs.
What's it taste like?
Then she like gets really intense in her eyes and she goes, possibility.
But like, does it have a flavor? Is it like peppermint? Because I kind of associate that color with like the cool peppermint blast, which is a spell I learned a few years ago.
And she like rolls her eyes at him in the way that only a teenager can. Whatever.
Right. No, I get it. I'm uncool. That's fair. Honestly, I've never been very cool.
Said to the person trailing their tongue along the building. Is humble.
No, it's a new trend,
confidence is cool.
I mean, the youth of today.
I imagine Mag like bringing up the rear as that happened and like looking over her shoulder over to the northeast, maybe understanding there's some prudence to not like completely disregarding whatever this is. There can be dangerous stuff in here, but she has her eye on a different prize.
Mag, we can't be... I totally agree with you that we do need to end up there, but we can't be totally monomaniacal and just ignore everything else here. Gotta figure out what this is.
And as Trill finishes that thought, you cross around the northwestern edge of this building, this first structure that you've seen here, and you see that there is a large set of double doors leading into that building to your east, but you also see that there's a lake to your west, and on that lake there is a decrepit, smaller building that looks like it hangs partially out onto the lake, and there is a door to that building now to your west. So there's sort of like what looks like it could be a boathouse over here, and then there is the larger sort of like fortified building here to the east.
Should we just look in that boathouse first?
Yeah.
It's smaller.
I'm not gonna have any answer other than charging off to the northeast until we find the dragon. So
Okay.
somebody more sane needs to drive for the next little bit.
Yeah. Let's. I think Eston and Trill are agreed about starting with the smaller space, figuring out.
There's gonna be something so nasty in here. This reminds me so much, Lars, of Mr. Beak on the first floor. Like we wandered up into the thing, and now we're going into the tiny little thing next thing. I'm just convinced this is gonna be so dangerous.
So in order to get into this building, you have to pry planks off of the door. Do you want to take a look at what's behind this planked off door?
Is there any writing on the planks telling us not to enter?
Nope, there's no writing on the
Great,
planks,
let's
anything
do
like that. So you set about pulling these planks off of this door, and you step inside. The last of these planks clatters to the ground, and the sound of that clatter echoes around the area as the door finally swings open. You step inside and you see that there is a rowboat hanging from chains on the northern side of the room. But there is a small figure in the shadows that scuttles as though it has just been awakened by the sound of this plank hitting the ground. It creeps out from the corner, and you see an odd-looking...
Is it Tabletop?
You see an odd-looking, like, gnomish mummy thing with what look like undead, disembodied spirits roiling around inside an open chest cavity.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
It's not Tabletop.
It scuttles out from a hiding place in the corner of the room. And it says, Good. More souls for Beluthus. More
boy.
souls to make Mommy proud.
Oh,
No, not Mommy.
And roll for initiative.
Yeah. Awesome.
we can befriend it.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Ao right outside the door stealthing?
I'll believe it if that's what you're telling me.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Let's get a sense of how everybody did on this initiative roll as the four of you entered this decrepit boathouse and awaken its very energetic but unnerving resident. How did Zoe, how did Ao do here?
Ao was feeling pretty speedy, pretty on her toes. She got a 35.
Okay, 35. Ao is you're speedy on your toes. You're also just like very silent because you rolled stealth. That means that you're going faster because people don't see you. You're gonna go out first, which is obviously very good for you. How did Armet? How did you do on this roll?
Pretty good. 16 on the die for a 31. I think Iston was jazzed up from the prior encounter and needs to take out some emotions in a combat encounter.
Okay. How did Trill do on this one, Rob?
Trill had a shitty roll, and Trill only got a 22, but she does want to battle cry when she sees this guy.
Let's battle cry.
And that's a 1 on the die.
Okay.
More bad rolls.
So
Jill
the
starts
battle cry gets
coughing.
caught in your throat. Yeah.
Alas.
So no reaction there from this hungry, weird little creep that you're entering into this room with. Finally, David, how did Mag do here on initiative?
33 for Mag, 18 on the die. Mag, like David, was assuming that there would be something dangerous and totally unrelated to her main goal in here. So I guess she pre-drew her weapon and was ready to swing.
Okay, and you can get free rage here at rolling initiative.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
No, I do want to rage.
Okay, double good. So Ao is up first. Ao, from where she is, I don't believe is able to see this creature, but you do get the sense that there's something happening inside the boathouse, and you're able to move first.
Ao kind of creeps up to the door, going for like sort of an element of confusion and surprise, decides to TKP this thing with some rock debris. It's going to be bludgeoning damage. Why not?
Thunking into this creature's body, presumably.
That is a 25.
That 25 misses as this rock bonks into the ground, into the wall above this creature's head. This creature is very small. This is a small, gnomish-looking thing with sunken-in eyes, opaque white eyes, long, straggling gray hair, sharp claws, looking like the children of Belcora, but dressed almost like a priest, it looks like. Again, with these swirling spirits inside of its chest, but that attack misses. It's now Mag's turn. As Mag enters a rage, what will she do?
I'm going to stride in next to it, and then I'm going to target it with a slam down, hammer, strike, and then a mapless attempt to trip.
Okay.
Ugh, that's a horrible roll. 23 is going to miss.
That 23 is going to miss. This creature.
It is a 23 though, so that's fun.
It
probably a
is
good
fun.
sign.
That's true.
Good thing.
This creature
It's worth it.
manages to duck underneath that attempt to slam it down to the ground.
And that's a big old swing and a miss. Okay.
Big old swing and a miss. It's Isthin's turn. Isthin sees his friends leap into action. None of them are able to get a grasp of this weird little monster. What is Isthin going to do?
Yeah, I think Isthin is going to step here, just a square to the north of him, which brings him into range. And I think he's gonna, uncork with a spell strike right off the bat. So he'll do that with a ignition as a cantrip.
A melee ignition spell strike, throwing a little bludgeoning and fire damage out at this creature.
Yeah, so here we go. 29 to hit.
That misses.
Ooh.
This creature is wily, difficult to hit.
Wow.
Ooh.
What a little mofo.
So the three of you that have acted so far are unable to get any grasp on this creature, and it is now this creature's turn. It throws its head back and says, like, "Mommy, I'll deliver them to you." And it starts twisting its hand around as 6 of these spirits rotating
Jesus.
around in its chest pass out of its chest cavity and enter its hand.
Oh, no.
And it's holding like a wad of these 6 disembodied souls, and it casts a spell.
So that would trigger a reactive strike.
It would.
Ooh.
And
Sure.
here is that.
Wow, weird. Usually the answer to that is no for reasons none of us can understand.
Well, no, it's actually a
It's
somatic.
so easy to understand.
Yeah.
So
That's
here,
what you would say if you were rigging it.
I'm going to try bludgeoning damage on this thing.
Okay.
And that's another terrible roll. 25.
So the 25 misses. Isthin also did a reactive strike.
Yeah, 33.
That hits.
Okay, awesome.
That's good.
Okay, so we can hit it. Technically
can hit
speaking, it is possible.
If that
Yeah.
didn't hit it, we'd be in a real situation.
19 bludgeoning and 1d6 persistent vitality damage, please.
That persistent vitality damage. What color is your vitality energy? Can you help me out here?
Yeah, absolutely. I have to imagine it's sort of like shining white light, maybe
Ooh.
with some Kirby crackle kind of effect there.
So shiny, crackling white energy wraps around this creature. It's now taking that persistent damage. That's big time.
Awesome.
19 damage, but that is not enough to stop this spell from going off. So it releases this spell, and it drops an emanation. Give me 1 second, please.
This is going to be bad.
Yes, it is.
Like it.
It drops
Into
an
it.
emanation on all of you. A 30-foot burst of necrotic, blue necrotic void energy blasts off of it. So all of you are going to be targeted by this, and I need all of you to make a fortitude save to avoid taking 29 points of damage as a 3-action harm spell radiates off of it like you're in the room with a nuclear reactor that is just shedding void energy like that passing through the column.
So Trill has the channel protection amulet,
Okay,
which
Sounds
gives
convenient.
her a resistance 5 against harm spells.
great. So that should just happen. If that doesn't happen, we'll deal with it.
Okay.
That 29 points of damage is enough to heal this creature all the way up to their maximum hit points, as they are brought back to power by this void energy. How did Trill do on this save?
Not good. She only got a 20.
Okay, that is a critical failure.
Oh, no.
So Trill is going to take double damage and resists 5 of that. So let's just make sure that that comes through correctly.
So if it's 29, double damage would be...
Yeah. 58 plus 5 is
Yep, so she
53.
only took 53 damage.
Okay.
But that's not good.
It's
No.
not good. How did Ao do on this one?
28 for AO.
So that's a failure. You take the full damage. How did
Wow.
Mag do here?
23 for Mag.
That is a failure. You take full damage. How did Istin do here?
Also a 23. So that's a success, right? No.
That's a failure. You take full damage. So a total of like 19 points of healing and like 100 some points of damage in this one spell. You notice as it is casting this spell, it crunches all of these spirits that it was using to cast the spell, and they fall to the ground with a powder. And there are 4 of these souls left rotating around in its chest. Like it spent 6 souls to blast you as hard as it could with its first attempt to act here. That's the end of this creature's turn.
Is anyone else hearing the Ursula Poor Unfortunate Souls song? Now
Yes.
Totally.
So at the end of its turn, it takes 5 points of this vitality damage from Istin's rune. They try to recover. They fail. They get a 3, not a 15. So they are continuing to take that persistent damage. It's now Trill's first chance to act. What is Trill going to do?
I think Trill's going to have to do she's going to have to harmonize.
Okay.
So, lingering for Tissimo, Courageous Anthem, and then harmonize with Dirge of Doom.
So we're going to see how many rounds of Courageous Anthem we get, and we're just going to do the Dirge of Doom.
And that was a 37.
Critical success. You get 4 rounds of this inspiring song.
Fabulous. And then he's frightened.
Okay.
There we go. That was Trill's
It's the
turn.
top of round 2, and here's how it's gone so far. You walk into this room, a bomb goes off, and you're all struggling to get a hold of this, the most seemingly capable of these bog mummies that you have encountered here. One wonders what it is that this creature has been doing here in this boathouse. But whatever it is, they're here defending their territory and trying to claim your soul. At the top of round 2, it is Ao's turn. Ao's just outside the door of this building.
We've not recalled any sort of knowledge about it, right?
Not yet.
Let's do that. Ao's
Smart.
gonna use something you tell me and then argue with you about to pick a more favorable skill. So what's our little back and forth on this?
Sure. It's an undead creature,
Okay.
so it's a religion check. Stop me if you've heard this one before. It's the most common check in this adventure.
Does it feel like it's like aligned with the stars? Like maybe some astrology? It's very nimble. Acrobatics seems like it could be.
Acrobatics seems like a stretch. If you want to give me occultism, I'll let you do occultism
right.
also.
Oh, was that supposed to be secret?
It was, but it's okay. You asked me a question about this creature.
What is its middle name? No. Saves that it's weak to.
Yeah, this creature, even though it is casting spells at you, its mind has been addled and rotted away by decomposing and being brought back to eternal life. Its will save is its worst save.
Oh, I love that for me.
Love that for me.
Ao is going to cast command on it to see if she can get it to do something. Do I have to decide what I want it to do before I see if it works?
You shout a command that's hard to ignore. Yeah, you have to shout the command to cast the spell.
The command is sit down and face the corner. Stop it.
Okay.
Turn around and be ashamed of what you're doing to those souls.
So the spell says you can command the target to approach you, run away, release what it's holding, drop prone, or stand in place.
This is a flavor prone.
A flavor prone. Let's do it. So can this creature resist your spell, and will it drop prone? That is a critical success on its roll.
Well, that's a little devastating.
So it looks at you and says, "Nobody orders me but mommy."
And Ao concludes her second useless turn.
It's Mag's turn. This creature is frightened right in front of you. You have it in the corner. It has 4 orbiting souls in an open chest cavity, and it is weird. What will you do?
I'd like to hit it with a hammer, please.
Okay. Is this a slam down or no?
Sure.
Okay, great. Slam it, baby.
Oh my God. It's a 7 on the die. It's a 26.
The slam down misses. You have one more action.
All right.
You bonk the hammer into the wall of the boathouse once more.
Yeah. So anything I do now is going to be a map minus 10.
Yes.
So that's not going to work because its armor class is like 45. So I would basically need like a 20. That's not really... Is it already frightened?
Yeah.
It is from
Troll scared
Trill.
it.
It is.
Okay.
You could
Recalling
pick it up
knowledge.
and give it a little tickle in its pitties.
Well, that would be trying to grab it, and that's not going to work. What else am I good at? Can I craft it?
You could prepare to aid.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I will set up to aid Istin's next attack.
Okay, a wild swing, and Mag sets up a position to aid her friend. It is now Istin's turn. Istin is 10 feet away from this creature in the corner of the room, just in range to hit it with his staff.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's going to do right off the bat, is just make a big staff strike at this thing. Here we go. 20 on the die, going to do it?
Ooh!
Oh,
Istin,
boy.
making up for lost time.
You gotta draw.
He's got stuff to prove now.
Nice. We have 11 cards in this stack. If I draw the ace, this is triple damage. Let's see, what did I draw?
The 7 of spades.
7 of spades. A regular crit. Still
I'll take
incredible.
it. Yeah.
Something you guys needed
Yeah, we
very
sure do.
badly.
Yeah.
Oh, nice damage roll.
34 bludgeoning damage, please.
Right.
Okay, 34 points of bludgeoning damage. That all goes through. And a more massive bit of vitality damage. We're doing double vitality damage.
Oh, nice.
What else happens on a crit from you, friend?
I believe on a crit, I can enfeeble an undead with the vitalizing rune. And I can knock it away, but I don't think there's anywhere it can really go. So Istin is going to use his Magus's analysis ability. So he's going to recall knowledge on this guy with a +1 because he hit it in the head.
Great. Give me a religion check, please.
Here we go. Not my best skill, but there we go.
Okay, what do you want to know about this creature?
Yeah, any weaknesses?
You do not get the sense that this creature has any weaknesses. You do know what this kind of creature is. It's something called a devourer.
Oh.
These are spellcasters that are lost in strange places. They get twisted. They develop in unpredictable ways. They come back as horrific undead that consume the souls of the living to fuel their arcane machinations.
That's awesome and so heavy metal, and I love it.
It's quite heavy metal.
So that sounds like a success. Do I get my spell strike recharged then?
It seems as though your spell strike is not coming back. It's weird.
Huh.
Interesting. Okay. So
So not a success.
not a success. So maybe a crit fail.
It's also a mitflit.
Yeah. It's tricky. Okay, with last action then, I think he's just going to raise his staff to parry.
Okay. As you raise your staff, this creature goes and holds its arms straight up in the air and levitates up off the ground and starts flying around the ceiling of the room. It's about 5 feet up off the ground, and it's sort of clinging to the ceiling of this boathouse. It's back up against the ceiling as it's like tormenting you and it's going, ah!
Wait, how high is the ceiling in here?
8 feet.
Oh,
8 feet.
okay.
The levitating from where it was and moving has to trigger a reactive
It
strike.
sure does.
Excellent.
I've rolled above a 7, so that's helpful. There's a 35 hit.
Yes, it does hit.
Delightful. 22 damage.
22 damage.
What about a 27 to hit?
27 does not hit.
Okay, fair enough.
This This creature, now clinging to the ceiling as it gets clobbered by Mag, extends its claw down to Mag, swiping at her from the ceiling, its hair dripping down in front of its face as it looks Mag in the eyes with these big white, solid white eyes. And a claw reaches down at Mag. 33 to hit.
Hits.
Mag gets slashed at for some damage, 27 points of damage, and Mag needs to make a fortitude save.
It's a 28 on the save.
That succeeds. You're okay. You feel your life start to be drained away from you, but you manage to resist.
Right, and that success gets rounded up to critical success.
And it slices out at Mag one more time. A 19 on the die that time, a 38 to hit.
Critical hit.
It reaches down below Mag's jawline and slices at her for 40 points of slashing damage. And Mag again needs to make a fortitude save.
Is 40 the critical damage, or do I double that? Okay.
It is.
Ooh. Thought it was 80 coming my way. And here is another fort save. Ooh, crummy roll. It's a 24?
That is good enough.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, Mag's a hefty lady.
Okay. That is the end of this creature's turn. It is floating on the ceiling. At the end of its turn, it's going to take 10 points of vitality damage from the ongoing effects of Isthin's vitality rune, trying to recover from this. 10 on the die, still taking the persistent damage. Yes. Huge move from Isthin on that one.
This is all Isthin so far.
So this is like, I'm imagining this is like something out of The Ring, okay? This straight hair trailing down on this creature that's just slashing wildly, like clinging to the ceiling. What is Trill going to do about this undead little horror creep on her turn?
I think Trill's first going to recall knowledge.
Okay, give me a religion check, please.
I can do that.
So Trill takes a look at this creature. What kind of question do you have? You confirm Isthin's suspicion that this is something called a devourer.
Okay.
But what else would you like to know?
We looked at weaknesses. Does it have any immunities?
Yes, it has the kinds of immunities that undead creatures have.
Okay.
It's immune to death effects, disease, paralyzed, poison. It's immune to spell deflection, which I don't know exactly what that is, and it can't be knocked unconscious. When it loses all of its hit points, it's destroyed.
Okay.
Doesn't give a shit if you insult it either.
Trill's just gonna do a thing that she does, I guess. Electric arc.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a reflex save.
It tries to dodge the other way. It rolls a 1 on the die. It's going to take double damage here.
Amazing. Nice. And so that was 16 points of damage. So that'll be 32.
32. This electrical energy jolts out of Trill's fingers. It tries to roll around on the ceiling to not get hit. It rolls straight into this blast, and it jitters around. And is like its body is scorched as it turns towards Trill and becomes very, very angry at her.
Isthin yells, "Nice one, Trill!" and cheers.
It's the end of round 2. It's the beginning of round 3. This creature is clinging to the ceiling. Ao is set up right outside of the room. She's in a position here now where getting this thing off guard is going to be slightly trickier because it's no longer frightened. So I'm not sure what Ao is going to do. What do you think, Zoe?
Given that it's on the ceiling, will flanking it do it or no?
Yeah, if you get within reach of it and you stand on the other side of it, like right around here, right by this boat that's hanging off of the northern side of this, and you attack it with a melee attack, it'll be off guard to you. Yes.
Right, I love that. So Ao sidles up in here, pulls out her kukri and stabs it.
So you're like stabbing up at the ceiling, up at this thing that's
it's not that
rolling
far up,
around, right? Like Defying Gravity, the popular song that we all love from the movie Wicked Part 1.
Is Ao Elphaba or Glenda?
I think you know the answer to that question.
That's right. Man, I am not going to get much done this fight. That's a 25.
You're not going to get much done with these d20 rolls. It's true. That is an attack that misses. So Ao jumps up, tries to slash at this thing, comes up empty, and it is now Mag's turn. David, what will Mag do?
I really want to do a thing where I somehow use the boat that's hanging from the ceiling to get at the creature that's floating around on the ceiling. Is there a way that I could either jump up and land on the boat and stand on it?
I'll let you do a leap onto the boat. It'll be a single action to leap up and then be 5 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
Could you sit in the boat and then on Trill's turn, she makes the boat fly and you go with it?
I will tell you, David, that in doing that, you will be giving up it being off guard. And a leap is not an athletics check. A leap is just a thing you can do.
Oh, then can I use that 20 for my next attack?
No, I'm sorry, no.
I seem to have burned my 20 for the session on something I didn't even need to roll. Okay, so I think I then need to, because the boat is slightly to my north and east, so
Yes,
I gotta hop up there. Okay.
Yeah, you do a leap. Mag is able to, both feet, jump up and is now standing on this boat as it swings back and forth on these chains. Mag is now face to face with this little creep, and Mag has 2 more actions.
All right. Slam downs have been going really well so far. So I'm going to try another one. If I were to slam it down, will it be literally slammed down as in back to the floor? And
it'll fall and it'll take falling damage.
Right. It's not just going to be flavor slammed down and just kind of prone, whatever, off balance in midair or whatever.
No.
All right. So Mag jumps up onto the boat and then she swings the hammer. I'm imagining this is like a downward cleave, 12 to 6.
Yes.
And let's try that 20 would have been great for this roll.
I know.
So let's roll another one. That is a 13 on the die for a 32.
It hits. I was ready for it to be a result that would have hit only if you had maintained your flanking rather than doing the cool thing. So, yes,
okay, awesome.
You did the cool thing. It paid off. Let's give a hero point
Woo!
to David for doing that.
My only counterpoint here is, aren't a fight's greatest heroes those who try to cause damage and do none?
Well,
It's
by
such a
that
good
token,
point.
I should also have had a hero point already.
Fair. Okay.
So I got all my bases covered. All right, so that's 17 damage.
Terrible damage roll. A 1 and a 2 on 2 d8s. You hate to see it. 2 d10s even.
Yeah, you hate to see it. And then the thing is knocked, or it's a 32 to knock it prone.
No, you have to roll the.
Oh no, I roll the
athletics.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now I roll athletics,
correct.
but not the 20 from before.
Correct.
Okay, just checking. It's another 20.
Yeah,
Yay!
you rolled the 20 from now to get this going.
Excellent decision,
I
David.
snuck the attack and the damage right in between those 20s. Cool. So now it is on the floor. And as this happens, I imagine, like you talked about, Mag being face to face with this weird little soul-stealing gremlin thing. So I imagine that when that happens, Mag would probably say something like, she would probably be like, ha ha!
That got me right
yeah,
here.
totally.
That's a really good point, Mag. Yeah.
Thank you.
So as you slam this creature down into the ground, it takes some damage as it hits the ground. Also, because you critically succeeded, you get to roll a d6 to do bludgeoning damage to it.
Yep. I just assumed that's 5 on the d6.
5 more damage, and it lands prone on the ground. This is huge for this combat, if you ask me. Huge opportunity in this situation. What is going to happen with this opportunity as it is now Isthin's turn? Mag jumps up onto the boat, bashes this creature down into the floor. Dust goes flying up as it slams down into the floor. What will Isthin do?
So Isthin is going to recharge his spell strike first action, and spell strike at this guy while it's on its back.
Off guard because it was knocked prone. A huge opportunity for Isthin if he can find his target.
Yes, and he is going to use Ignition as his spell. Okay, that is a 34 to hit.
That hits. Give me the bludgeoning damage, please.
Okay, the bludgeoning damage looks like it is 13.
Okay, and then the damage from ignition as fire jets out of your staff.
Yeah, that is 22.
Huge damage roll from Isthin.
Whoop,
This
whoop.
creature is burned, writhing around on the ground, looking for revenge. And it's now its turn. It reaches its hand out and pulls the last of the 4 remaining souls from its chest to once more cast a harm spell.
Which that would trigger a reactive strike.
It would.
Oh, so it would.
So
Mag just
maybe-
gonna bash it into the ground now.
Iston, could we kill it before it can?
As this
just-
That would be
creature's embalmed fingers start crunching these 4 souls, you see the faces on them scream out in agony as they are consumed to channel this spell. First from Mag, what do we got?
25.
That misses. You slam down on the ground as it twists out of the way. Then from Isthin.
33.
And as it twists out of the way of Mag, that staff, the point of your staff, clangs it straight in the head. Give me a damage roll.
All right, let's hope this do it. 15.
And this creature falls apart
Love it. You love it.
Awesome.
as these 4 souls do not get crunched. They fly out of the open door, giving you a little salute, being like, "See you later, you saved us." As they
Yay!
drift away.
Do we get a boon from
it's rare to
Pharasma for
get
that?
such positive feedback like that.
But yeah, you've rushed into this room, and then within about 18 seconds had this like harrowing experience with this strange, unexpected child of Belcora. And it is now quiet once more here in this room.
This whole fight was kind of like what you guys were talking about January. It started really bad, and then we've started rolling
And
much
by
better.
August, you're rich. I'm saying.
Yeah, all your demons have been slain.
That'd be great.
I only sort of like understand Istin's mechanics at a very high level. It's like, oh, he can hit and he can cast.
It's so cool.
But what just happened there was pretty
Yeah.
dope. I feel like he had answers for all the questions that were being posed.
I appreciate that. I don't know if that's true, but thank you.
He was hitting. There was persistent damage, which was leeching away
yeah,
at the
that helped a lot.
boy. That was an instant forward result.
To me, this felt like a combat where the dice were not playing along, but you guys had like really smart tactical play. So when the dice caught up, you like sliced through it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Felt
Mag-
good.
like AO
knockdowns
moving
or-
into flank was so smart, even though it didn't like work. It's doing those sorts of things so that when the dice show up, you know, you're in the position to capitalize. I feel like that's like kind of what happened here.
Right.
Knocking it down was
Yeah,
massively
totally the
helpful
slam
as well.
downs.
Slam down's like the best feat in this game.
So good.
It's like mega overpowered.
Yeah. It's good.
So
Healing,
Yes.
maybe?
As Troll says that, Ao holds up one finger and reaches into the creature's mouth and yanks out an incisor.
oh yeah, that I think is very simple to do.
They're all incisors.
Ghost teeth.
Incisors all the way down.
Yep. Man, that thing is so creepy. I love the art for this.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Chest
Trill
full of souls.
investigates the skirt a little bit and likes the gold fabric and takes a couple bits of the fabric
Mm.
for funsies.
Yeah.
Got it. You
Looks
managed to
wonderful.
pry some of this fabric off. It falls apart in your fingers. It has not been maintained. It's been here on the shore of this, underground cavern in this dank room. So it comes off, like you're able to rip a strip of it off pretty easily.
So shiny.
She's like a crow.
And then Ao sets about administering some healing.
And Trill's gonna refocus while getting healed.
So as you're doing this healing, and I'll catch up with exactly how long this is taking in just a moment, Mag notices that in this boat that she is standing in, there's a little sea chest, a little chest for protecting goods on a maritime journey.
Arr.
Just nestled in underneath the flat bench that crosses the rowboat.
Mag reaches down and opens it up, assuming it to be filled with malevolent, corrosive spirits.
Yes, they also give you a thumbs up as they fly away.
Is Matt getting ballast points for this?
Yeah, tons of ballast points. Finally, we've gotten back to the ballast points.
Okay.
Mag sees in this chest just 3 little objects. There's a dagger. It looks really nice. You don't know exactly what it is, though. There's a stone with some kind of a rune engraved on it. Somebody can try to identify what this rune is. And there is a strange little object. Mag holds it up to her face, and it's like a tiny little boat very intricately carved out of wood. Fits in the palm of her hand. She's not sure what this is either. So would anybody like to identify this dagger first off?
Yes.
I would.
Mag gets the sense that this might be slightly over her head in terms of identifying the magic here, but if you want to, you can give me one of the 4 checks as Mag spends 10 minutes trying to check this thing out.
No.
Arcana, nature, religion, or occultism.
If it's a magic thing, then I'm
Trill
not
can
gonna
take a look at it while Ao's
I'll
doing the
spend the
healing.
10 minutes looking for more goodies for other people.
Okay, so Trill takes a look at this thing, and she identifies what this is. This is just a really, really nasty magic dagger, basically. This is a +2 striking dagger. So everybody has +1 weapons. This is a +2. It gives you an additional 2 hit.
Wow.
Doesn't have any sexy effects beyond that. It just is extremely accurate when it slices out. The next thing is this rune stone. Maybe Isthin, while Ao is healing and Trill is identifying the first object, maybe Isthin would like to try this one out.
Absolutely. All right. He's going to use Arcana.
Okay. Isthin identifies this object as an armor potency +2 rune.
Whoa.
This is a rune that you can get engraved into your armor that makes your armor incredibly hard to hit.
That
This
is
is
awesome.
a tier of items that you have not seen before. And then maybe 10 minutes later, Trill has time to try to identify what this strange model boat is.
Yeah.
Okay. Trill identifies this as something called a marvelous miniature boat. It's a replica of a real boat. You toss it into a body of water, and then it transforms into a ship. This is a ship that is 30 feet long, 15 feet wide. A nice seafaring vessel.
Awesome.
This is amazing.
And then after a day, it fades away.
It's like a ship of holding.
The lake that we're kind of overlooking, it's pretty big, isn't it?
It's pretty big.
Yeah, we're going to need a boat.
We're
for
going to
it.
need a bigger boat, guys.
Yeah, exactly, Robin.
We've got a bigger boat. It's
Black eyes,
miniature right
like
now.
those eyes.
You're going to need a smaller boat.
Hopefully we don't need an even bigger boat. Yeah. Wow. Yikes.
That's cool.
Does it have little lifeboats that are miniature boats?
It's boats all the way down.
Boats
It's
all the
an
way down.
endless
That's right.
fractal of boats.
Each
Boats
one
and
with an
boats and
incisor
incisors.
nested somewhere in it.
This marvelous miniature thing is very cool.
This
It's
was
just a general item class.
Yeah, in fact, an amazing stash of items to have looted at this point in the game. Like, +2 striking only comes online at like level 10, I think. And like,
It's nice.
I think same for +2 armor. It might be even higher than that.
Level 11, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Certainly would be of use in fighting a black dragon.
Yeah. Maybe not the boat, unless we could throw the boat at the dragon.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Or trick it to eat it and then it expands inside once it hits
Oh,
the
I like
stomach.
that.
Right? You just got boated.
Well, maybe I'll take the dagger.
And keep in mind that you can go to Ildaris. Ildaris has a forge, and you can hire their blacksmith to move runes over. So you can, like,
Ooh.
if you want to, you can turn this +2 striking. You can make it like a +2 striking.
Like, just for
Earthbreaker,
example, an Earthbreaker.
Yeah.
Just like
And
if
then
you were
once
to
you
pick
have a
something
+2
random.
on the weapon, you can attach a second property rune to it. So you could have a +2 crushing something else.
Flaming.
Earthbreaker.
Ooh.
Shocking.
Dave is listening.
Flaming. Shocking.
Yeah, or something, right? Something that acid dragons hate. What's the opposite of acid dragon?
Basic
Um,
dragons.
Cocaine
Yeah.
dragon, I think.
A base.
I was
base-
going to go with like
You
a
do
base
not want to hang
hamster.
out with those, by the
a
way.
base
It's just
puddle.
pumpkin spice lattes everywhere.
So yeah, after
Like a
how much time
basic
did we
Karen.
spend healing, do we think?
A pumpkin spicing rune. I think it was 40 minutes.
So after about 40 minutes, it's just after 6. It's like 6:20.
PM.
Where are we going next? PM, yes.
Oh yeah, because we needed so long to heal before. We just in that other cavern we just sat around for like 3.5 hours, being
Yeah.
like, oh.
And you had an audience with Quara or Shindiel. It's been a big day.
In this boathouse that we're in, there's 2 other doors. Do those just like lead out to the piers?
Yeah,
They
we're-
lead out to the piers. Yeah, you can
Okay.
see that from the
Nice.
outside. There are docks that extend onto the water that these lead out to.
What if anything new can we see from out on the piers? Are the piers strong enough to stand on?
The piers seem strong enough to stand on. Mag walks out onto this pier leading off to the north and sees a few more pillars that go from the roof of this cavern down through the water into the floor of this lake. And then there are some, like maybe some islands off in the distance that she's able to see, but that's about it.
Does any of this look, feel, smell more Ravarexy?
No, you're now sort of headed due north. You know that your northeast is the direction that Ravarex is in.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we go back the way we came.
So you head back out into the space outside this boathouse. Now that you have some sense of the topography of this lake, you're scouting the area, you have found tools that will be useful, at least in fighting Ravarex, and you approach once more this larger stone building. Do you go into that building?
Yeah.
You open the doors and you see a hall, a large hall with murals that have been chipped and stained. The floor is covered with mud. This place is abandoned. It looks like it has fallen into horrible disrepair, maybe repaired by hand a couple times. There's like a table with a chair. It's rickety. It's falling apart. There's a fire pit sitting at the center of this chamber. It's musty. It's gross. And there are 3 Calignes standing in this room. They see you open the door, and one of them whispers to you, "Ah, the visitors from above. Galudu has been waiting for you." And we will pick up
Oh.
from there next time.
More friends. Woo!
Yes.
Hopefully.
Politics.
Finally, politics.
Yes. The Roots of Ruin is
is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated fan content policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. The Roots of Ruin is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in The Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. Visit our website, tabletopgold.com, to learn more about us and our shows, join the Golden Horde to get access to more shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.